Okay, so we're going to take a look at the agile ratios impact in the mobile experience as an executive GM or a GM, even a regional manager or group leader would want to prep before a big meeting, a meeting with the store, a meeting with their leaders, just to have the basic fundamental performance to KPIs by that store. So if I'm an executive GM or a region leader, the first thing I would do is, as I've done here, pull up the AAuto experience and then look at the first three KPI boxes and ask myself, how are we performing to goal? So unit sales goal is right in the middle. Our goal is 240. We're pacing for 248. That's great news. So we're in good shape. We've sold 8 so far in a day and a half of the month. So that's what puts us on goal and pace for the month. However, if you notice at the top, the agile ratio is really pushed pretty heavily to the left. The very top, you can see that. And that would tell you that this store is pacing behind their ability to meet goal, overall goal, and then be set up for next month. There are other things in there it tells you as well, but this really means they're being risk averse or they're having trouble acquiring inventory. All the things that would keep you from being fully set to maximize the current sales pace you're on. So then you would ask yourself in the first box, are we acquiring inventory from the right channel? And as you can see, we have 25 units that we need this week, and we've acquired 0 so far. Today is Tuesday, or Monday, so you'd ask yourself the question, how are we pacing? This is updated every hour, so if it's noon, you would know that half the day has gone by and nothing's done. You would also be able to look at the group transfer functionality to say, oh, okay, they had 8, but they transferred 4 out to this store and 4 to this store. And maybe they got some transferred in, but you'd be able to make a case and balance that out. The third box would be how you're pacing for this month and next month. And that has a big impact on the agile ratio up top, because what we're saying down here is that in the orange and yellow circle, that our optimal inventory is 313 on the day supply this dealer has picked for their average day supply, which they're comfortable with, that number. A unit sales goal of 240 at their current pace, and their ability to hit that 240 with what they have in stock now and be set up for a good month next month. So everything in these first 3 boxes would tell you, okay, Mr. Dealer, if I'm the executive GM, I'm going to say we have an acquisition problem. Pacing acquisition problem. We're selling fast early in the month, and we need to catch up quick before we get ourselves into trouble. How do we do that? There are areas to look into in the desktop platform that could really reveal what your best strategy is. But right now, you already know exactly how this dealer's pacing in their health for their used car operations. Then you can scroll down a little further and look at their plan of attack for that acquisition by week, by month, and by day. So right now we're on a daily plan. You can see they're 18 short already for this. So they missed their goals 3 days in a row. If you look at their weekly plan, you can see how they're pacing by week. As these little bars get full and they reach the top, that means they met their daily plan or weekly plan. And of course, you can look at it by the month, right? You can see how they are doing month after month to determine if this store is consistently staying on top of their acquisition strategy by month. Then you can go down and look at, okay, so how is the inventory we have on the ground and how, in its health, and then how is it going to help us to continue to maximize sales pace early in the month while we go and acquire inventory? And the answer is not very well. You can see in this middle box right here that you've got 71 units in 31 to 45, and you've got 79 and 46 plus, which means you have a bunch of aged units. And so getting rid of those units are probably not going to be very profitable. And of course, 0 units in 0 to 30 means you're not going to turn as fast as you want to. So there's a recipe for disaster here, but stores like this can get fixed really well once the focus is on the right things. We all know that you can't hit what you can't see. You can also take a look at this aging in a checkerboard format. Right here, you can move over from left to right, and then you can see that aging by price point. Up top are the price points, 0 to 15,000, 15 to 25, and the left is the age bucket. You can look by source, by auction, you can look by segment, just to see how different things are performing. That's getting real granular. Right now, you have all the story you need to know where to have a discussion. And then you can start looking at how we're pacing early this month. We all know that if we're going to make current month, we need good vehicles in fast, not from wholesale or our farthest away wholesales, hopefully from service drive, from equity mining, from purchase cars off the street and trade cars. Right now you have zero because we're in the first or second day of the month, depending on what time it is in your time zone. We switch over at midnight. But the point is, we've got to maximize these channels. And right now we don't, but as we go along, we will, as we start acquiring inventory. And to prove that out of, okay, what's our best approach? Well, now we have the sales side of the business, and as we acquire inventory, what turns fastest, what profits best, and of course, what do we have the most of, so we can see if we're in a good shape. And so you would easily want to look over here at turn, because right now you need inventory to turn quick because of the fact that you have 0 to 30 empty. So you want to buy as much as you can out of this middle bucket and trade, because it turns in 18 days. So look, you don't want to miss trades. That's what you're saying. You got to get more aggressive on your trades. And of course, direct is good too. You turn that in 27 days. Auction, you look, anything you get from auction typically is not going to help you make your month. It's 41 days on average out. And of course, that's correlated with revenue. As you can see, if you can get more of those trades, 3,800, almost $4,000 PVR on average. Direct is 3,200 and auction's 1,300. So you're starting to get a picture of not only how to analyze the store you're walking into, or as a GM, how to analyze your store's operations, but more importantly, depending on its current state of health, where to focus to make this month and get set up for next month to really get in recovery mode fast. Then you can have an opportunity for a more of a holistic approach by looking at market conditions. Look, you may think, okay, well, I'm in this position because everybody is, but is that the truth? And we pump LockLinks data in here to see your DMA data, your current local market area performance data, and then yours, and we can compare you against them so you can get a real, true, honest assessment of where you're pacing towards the market, both in all and new and used. Really good information there. And then you can trend out. You can pick a KPI, any of these right here, and trend out how you've done over the last, 12, 6 months, year altogether. So as an operator, it's a great opportunity for you not to have to go find a desktop, pull up your phone as you're in the cab or in the Uber going to the store, and really get a very quick assessment of the health of the store. And of course, as a GM, quick assessment of the health of your used car department and your new car department as it pertains to trades, and of course, all your service activity as it pertains to frontline readiness. And then, of course, zero your team and your strategy in towards the best approach for this dealer, to maximize this current pace for the month. They're doing great, but they're about to run out of cars. And by bulk buying, they're going to buy the wrong cars. So how do we methodically pace them to buy the right cars in a way that they can extinguish that aged inventory too and still keep pace without losing a ton of money? The strategy is inside the desktop platform. This is an overview, a macro look. The micro is in the desktop form, but it surely does equip and put arrows in the quiver for the executive leaders of a dealership, of a region, and of a group at large. So, wanted to give you a quick overview of how cool the mobile experience is for AAuto, Agile Autos.